Howdy, folks. Welcome to Soldering and Chatting with Javi, number 24, I think we're at. I don't even know anymore. And Russ has joined us here today.
Early.
Early. And, nobody on yet, but soon enough, people will go on. Ow, that's loud.
Well, I put them up so nobody have to hear me chomping.
Yeah, there you go. So, but some people will join very shortly. And in the meantime, this is going to be take two. What's that?
Clyde LeBonnie just showed up.
Hey, Clyde, how's it going?
Hello, Clyde.
This will be take two of the. Okay, sorry, I can't think and chew gum at the same time. Take two of the panels again.
Pocket cuts.
Yeah, the last time I was. I put them all together, and then when I went to go tighten the nuts, it was only like half a thread on, so they would pop off, and I didn't feel comfortable with that, even though they were very, very snug in here. So I just decided to redo it.
Ed Newman's in the house.
Hey, Ed, how's it going? All right, so yeah.
Dennis Mills, what's happening?
Hey, Dennis, how's it going? Let's see here. And what do we need here? We need the fivers. Where are the 5-pin dins? I know I threw them around here somewhere.
Same place where my 10mm socket is.
Yeah.
On my pencil.
There you go.
I got 3 pencils on my CNC, and I found one of them the other day. I haven't found the other 2 yet. But they're on the CNC somewhere. I'll tell you how much junk I got on there besides projects.
Here it is. I don't have that many 5-pin left because I did the good morning, Troy, or good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is. I don't even. It's all a blur when you get older, you know.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
Yeah.
Good evening, Mike. Mike Height Shoes here.
Hey, Mike. Yeah. So, there we go. Let me go ahead and grab these things here. I need my. These are only. Okay, good. There's a 4. The 5 is probably down here.
I know that you. Wait a minute. I take it back. You did all your storage bins at the property, right?
Yes.
I was looking about that. I don't see the storage bins. I forget where you are now. So
I'm here. Well, I say at home, but in my workshop at home, where I call it the Gatton room.
Yeah.
Because well, my Colossus takes up half the room.
Right.
And what I did was on this side. I'll show it to you when I get up and reach up and move the camera. It's basically in fact, here's what I can do.
Y'all folks out there in the chat, y'all gonna have to keep him on his toes. He's kind of tired. He's yawning a little bit. He might fall asleep on you.
Yep. This is modern technology. I love modern technology. I take a picture, I upload it to my computer, sent. Then I basically open my computer, or rather the picture.
Right on. That's how I do it.
And hello. Oh yeah, it's open. It's just in a different. And then I do this, and then I do this. And where's the new picture? I don't know where it went. Hang on. Okay. Okay, I'll tell you what. Let me
look. Send it to your messenger?
It's under downloads, so it's got to be in here somewhere. There it is. That looks like it. Is that it? That's it? Okay, that's what I look at to my left.
Well, hell, that's not too bad.
Yeah. What happened was I had a couple boxes, or two or three, two boxes of these 20 bin rail mount stackable part storage from Storehouse from
Mhm.
Harbor Freight,
Right.
and I have a whole bunch of these over my electronics workbench, which you guys, well, I mean, Russ, you've seen and some of you guys have seen
Mhm.
my office. My office with with my Cam Master behind it.
Right.
Everybody's got to have a CNC in every room,
Yes,
Uh,
sir. I agree with you.
and so that one, the small CNC, you can't see it because the CNC blocks the view, but directly on the opposite corner, I have a bench, and on top of the bench, I've got from bench top, which is at 42 inches, all the way to ceiling. I've got 8 foot by 8 foot. I've got lines of these drawers, and they're a lot
Jeez.
closer together than this.
Wow.
And I had two extra boxes, and I've been storing them like I do pack rat, for a while, and now they came in handy because now I just stuck them on this thing.
See, you're like my father. He would amass stuff,
Hmm.
tools and whatnot, and other knickknacks and stuff, and he would buy a little portable or metal
Yep.
storage shed out in the backyard,
Yep.
and he ended up with three of them things, plumb full of junk.
Yeah, I
And
hear
so he
you.
didn't really want to throw anything away. He said, I asked him about it, and he said, just as soon as you throw it away, that's when you're going to need it.
Yep.
So,
And this here, that's exactly right. That's what always happens. I finally finished the kitchen, the tiling. So this is it from one end, and here it is from the. If I stood here on this open drawer that remains open because one of these days I'll get around to it. If I stand from that side and look toward the table, that's what you see over here. And up top here is a beautiful looking china cabinet that I'm proud of. But anyway, all of this furniture, especially these missing doors, all of this furniture, and you can't really see it. I built it all myself, obviously. But anyway, and today I was busy grabbing these. I went over to the local IMECA or IMECA, however the hell you pronounce it. It's a it's a cabinetry store. They sell
okay.
cabinet supplies, and
Hmm.
I bought some birch plywood and 10 sheets of half-inch for hobby boxes, and so I'll be good for a while. And 5 sheets of 3/4. Now, what I wanted to do with the 3/4 was let me get back to here, and this is what I want. Okay. What I want to do with the 3/4 is I want to actually um, part of it. I'm gonna make a bench at the other place. At the other place, what I the whole plan is right now. Obviously, the container office. I've got a wall behind me, which is fine, but the other three walls, they're basically metal, and during the summer months, which are fast approaching, it's
Mm.
going to get really hot, and
Oh
my AC
yes.
is not going to be able to keep up. So luckily, I've got, being the pack rat that I am, and you've probably seen it in one of my past videos, episode number. It might have been episode number 3 of Make Room for Javi. I'm pretty sure it's the one where the thumbnail is a big pink roll of insulation.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I was up in the attic. I stored them all up in the attic. I some time ago I did my entire attic with it was insulated, but I put an extra layer up. I bought those blankets, and I got them at a ridiculous deal because there was a Home Depot closing down. So everything, you got to get everything at a good deal.
Yes,
So
sir.
so I got such a good deal that I took the rest of their stash, and I've got a 3,300 square foot house. It was enough to line my house, and I still had like 10 rolls left over.
Jeez.
So I have it here, and let me tell you what a scrounger I I was. I was considering, but I'm not going to. But I was considering when I move out of the house to take the blankets with me. But
Oh my goodness.
I mean, hey, it's already insulated. What do they need with blankets? No, but I'm not that crazy. But anyway, but I do have 10 or 15, or more than enough to insulate the place up there. I'm going to have a heck of a time because, well, I don't know if I told you, Russ. Did I tell you about my latest purchase from Harbor Freight?
You may have to refresh my memory.
All right. I bought a Harbor Freight trencher, the backhoe.
Yes. You told me you were going to.
Okay. Well, I pulled the trigger.
All right.
I pulled the trigger, and so I'm really happy. Good evening, Big D. How's it going? And let's see. My son had rented a garbage can bin, so I helped him fill it. Cleaned the back metal shed. Had stuff in there 30 years old and older. Oh, I got.
I can't believe you threw it away.
evening, Dave, and evening, Dave.
Hello, Dave.
Hey.
Oh, here you go. I'm going to go out and come back in again.
I just stopped by to see if Russ is behaving.
Oh yeah. Russ is behaving.
I put up all my food so they wouldn't hear me crunching and chomping. Also, I'm good.
So before the show, guys, just for those of you out there, Russ Meadows texted me, "Hey, how's it going?" And I said, "Great, I'm about to start the show. You want a link?" And he goes, "Sure, as long as I can hide from Dave."
I'm still hiding from Dave.
There you go. Well, anyway, so I plan on, in the container, I plan on bringing up some insulation. If it fits in my truck with the backhoe somehow on it.
There's a way to get it in there.
I don't know.
Buddy.
I don't know how I'm going to have to fit a 1,200 pound. Hopefully it'll still remain in the crate until I get up there. And well, then comes the other problem of I got to clear out space to store it in the container. That's a whole other nightmare. Hey, William, how's it going? So I mean, it's gonna be a tough.
All
one.
I can say, it sounds like you got your hands full.
Oh yeah, and then some. I
want video of you running that trencher.
Oh, it'll happen. It's definitely
no video. It didn't happen. So
that's right. No video didn't happen. I'm most certainly putting some video up of that. I
want to see how it works.
Oh, it's great. I mean, it's. I mean, you haven't seen the YouTube videos for it?
Yeah, but that's not somebody that I know. I want to see somebody that I know that's actually on it, and not no professional.
Okay. Well. First of all, let me say two things.
Here we go.
Number one, and this is now, guys, just so you know, before I say these two things, I will pop up a website. And that I'm very fond of. Okay, hang on. Let me go back to my screen share. I think you guys will really enjoy this website. It's a fantastic website. Okay, the website is called. Hang on a second. ididitbefore.com. Now, if you go to that website, this pops up.
I have seen that particular video.
Yeah. Well, anyway, obviously, folks, it's another one of my domains, and it goes straight to Javi.com. But the point is, some of you said, "Oh, I want to see it by someone that doesn't do it professionally." First of all, I will say, if you've ever watched any of those videos, there's not a single one of those guys that can do it professionally. I'm looking at him and I'm going, my God, this guy was taking literally 45 minutes after he removed the stump, after it's loose. It took 45 minutes to get him to roll it around out of the hole. That's it was crazy. It was crazy. A couple of those guys were good at it. I'll say that. And the second thing I have to say is, okay, Javi, construction, 18 years. my father, we owned a 740 7. Oh my God, my mind went blank. It's John Deere. We owned a standard backhoe.
Heavy equipment operator. I thought I was going to get away with that one, but
no. I've driven. I'll tell you one thing. I've driven the cats, and I've driven the cat excavators, and I've driven the John Deere backhoes with the front end loaders. Now, I learned on a John Deere originally. I cannot stand cat controls. I'm sorry, I can't stand them. I love that most of the new equipment can have both cat and John Deere controls at the flip of a switch. Because all it is just reversing switching 3, possibly 4 hydraulic lines. That's it. So I'm going to make sure now the unfortunate part about this new piece that I'm buying, this backhoe, is it's 4 levers. That's to save on cost. Eventually, I'm going to mount a dual joystick configured to the John Deere setup because I can't stand the thing. Yeah, that's a good idea, Clyde. But I'm going to have to rent a trailer for a week is the problem. What I was thinking of is Clyde said rent a U-Haul trailer. I was thinking of I've got a neighbor across the street who has a 6x12 low trailer there, and hey Johnny, how's it going? And so I think I'm gonna rent that. I'm gonna borrow that from him and see how that goes and stuff. So,
well, Johnny's not too far from me.
From Alvin, Texas is
it's just south of Houston, and that's probably a good 2 hours from me at the most, probably.
Yeah, nice.
Not too far from me.
Yeah.
I like how in Texas, when it's like 2 hours away, they go, "Oh yeah, he's right down the road."
It's pretty much around the corner, man.
Well, same thing happens in Florida. Well, the long ways.
Yeah.
It's like you can go from side to side in less than 2 hours.
Yeah.
But from top to bottom.
Top to bottom is tough. It's a little bit different.
No. Actually, from Pensacola to Key West.
Oh, that's a long one.
You're looking at 18 hours.
That's a long haul there, man.
You know, being in a state in 18 hours, that's a pain in the butt.
Yeah, I do.
even California, is longer, but
yeah,
but when you take out the bend in Florida, then we got you. We got everybody beat except Alaska.
Yeah, I live on the east side of right at Louisiana and Texas border, just about. And
hey Paul, good to see you, Paul. Good to see you, Bobby. Johnny's asking Russ, did you get the flood?
I did. Actually, I'm in Beaumont, but I'm on the outside the city limits of Beaumont. I'm actually across the street from another town, and we didn't hardly get anything yesterday. We got a bunch today, but in Beaumont yesterday, it was pretty rough. I didn't get any of it yesterday. We got paid back today.
Yeah,
but we drove from where I live on the Louisiana border all the way into New Mexico. My wife and I did, and man, you talk about a long drive.
Yeah.
And you see all different kinds of scenery out there too, man. You got the big canyons out in West Texas, and where I'm at, it's swamps and all kinds of stuff. It's the change of scenery is amazing.
Dave's down the road from here, 175. I'm at I-75, I guess, for 18 or so. Ouch. 18 minutes or 18 hours.
Yeah, it's hours.
Yeah. Let's see here.
We're fixing to get this whole week is going to be rough for us for rain.
You and me both. It's gonna be a lousy week, and the worst part is we're preparing for a small prom here.
Oh,
and most of everything that I got to do is outside. I got to prepare the little I'm making a backdrop for the kids. I call them kids. They're all 18. But anyway,
Right.
just about. Make a backdrop for them. Power wash, the pressure clean the back patio, the side driveway, the walkway, paint, tile the front porch. I still got that to do.
Fellas out there in the chat, do y'all think y'all got anything to do? This man is busy.
I like to keep busy. It's fun.
That man got a lot of stuff to do.
Right?
I don't want my wife to talk to him because she'll find more for me to do.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, the minute it stops being fun, then I stop doing it.
Well, I got to save my pennies up real faster than I thought. Then you might want to get rid of one of them hobby boxes. Got to save my pennies up.
Well, I just had a rush of orders, so now when people don't act fast enough, they don't stand in the queue in line, and I just got five orders that and for 5 orders, one takes me 3-4 days to do. So now I've got 2-3 weeks worth of orders, and then that's not counting the motors. So in the end, I'm about to change the website that instead of actually the website says 3 to 6 weeks, so that's okay. But I was getting ready to pump them out 1 week, and now it's back to 3 weeks again. It's just I'm not complaining.
Yeah, I hear you.
I mean, I don't know, complaining a little.
Dave Krause just joined us.
Hey, Dave, how's it going? Welcome. It's people are starting to send me pictures, which is a beautiful thing.
Oh, it is.
I wish they sent me more. I mean, I'd be very grateful.
You remember that fella that I was telling you about with that I bought that Chinese machine?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I've got him to the point where he's able to do stuff with it. And
was that 5x10 or
no? It was a 4x8.
4x8.
Yeah. And
it's ridiculous size. Just take up so much space.
He had to have it because he's planning on doing big items. So
right.
When he learns how, good. And so he PM'd me last night on Facebook, sent me a picture.
Yeah.
And he was practicing the free files on the Aspire demo version.
Right.
And so he showed me one that he had cut, and he said, I think I went a little too deep. First time, it didn't hardly touch it at all. I said, that's because you didn't listen to me.
Yeah. That's right.
But it came out good when he done it the second time. He just went too deep with it.
It still surprises me that look, I don't want to call people dumb. However, it still surprises me that in an industry, if you call it industry or hobby, such as woodworking, that has not changed in God knows how many years, people still, some people still don't learn from other people.
Yeah.
They whether it's CNC, building a CNC or I can do this and this and this and it'll be better. And I can do this and this and this and it'll be better because it's never been done before. Yeah, right. Try again. It's been done millions of times. Again, woodworking hasn't changed, So, and like I said, I don't want to call people dumb, but I'll say it. I'll call people dumb. You're an idiot. You're an idiot if you don't listen to advice from people who have been there before if you want to learn. Now, then again, the hard part is, and this I don't blame people for, is trying to tell who's providing good advice and who is another idiot out there spouting off what he thinks is good advice.
Now, y'all out there in the chat, he's not referring to anybody on this program.
No. Well, by default, people that watch me are not idiots. So
there you go, by
that's
God.
easy.
There you go.
That's just that's a no-brainer.
Oh, you want to answer Dave's question?
No, definitely not. Yeah, it's so funny. But sometimes I just got to wonder about some people. I mean, the comments I see out there, and I understand if you're, I understand when you're new, one of the first questions that pops out of you and straight onto Facebook is, what should my feeds and speeds be set at?
Yeah.
I mean, very few people don't ask that question.
That's true.
After they get a CNC. And I asked that question when I got a CNC, and I understand that. And okay, I'll tell you now, if any of you is asking that question, every wood is different. Every CNC is different. Every size, design, and each wood type. I mean, aside from each wood type being different, pine, you cut differently than oak. Each oak can be different. So, I mean, what I'm getting at is you can't ask somebody else for something that has so much variety. You gotta practice your own machine and experiment.
Exactly.
That's the answer. The answer is, what are my feeds and speeds? Run a test.
Yeah.
You know, what should you start at? Whatever you're comfortable with. You know?
Yeah. If you start burning it, then you know one or the other is wrong, or maybe both.
Exactly. So it's that.
Dave said he's not retired.
What's that? Yeah. Who's retired?
He works more now than he did when he was working.
Yeah, that's true.
He
Two down.
Does it from home.
Oddly enough, I'm not retired either, although I am.
Well, oddly enough, I am retired and I'm enjoying the heck out of it.
So am I.
Only one I have to answer to now is the wife.
Yep.
She would dearly love me to go back to work.
Yep. Me, I'm having fun making these boxes as long as I'm having fun doing them, and it's been fun. Doesn't look like it's going to run out of fun anytime soon. As long as I keep having fun, then I keep making them.
Yeah.
It's not like well, I mean, I want to say it's not like it's rocket science. It's not rocket science, but it is time consuming. And it's one of those things that it's difficult for some people to grasp until they have seen it. You know, it's like, you know, my first CNC was a difficult concept. It seemed so complicated until I had it and looked at every part and saw how everything worked and got so comfortable with it. It became just so simple. And I guess, you know, life is like that. Anything you do really is like that. You know?
Yeah. You know, I'm what they call a visual.
Yeah.
Visual learner.
And many of us are.
Right. Yeah. For me, I do better by seeing it.
Yeah.
I can read it in books, but by God, I really prefer the eyeball on it. Makes it easier for me.
Yeah, Dave used to work for sheet metal fabrication, so he did a lot of. And it's funny because Dave uh, designed or had a hand in designing, at the very least, the box, the enclosure, and some other parts for my Cam Master back in the day when he was working for his thing. So that was really cool to find that out. It was let's see. Do I like Win CNC or Mach 3 better? That is a very good question. That's a very good question, Paul. I am actually, you know what? They are both so darn close that I have to say, I really don't see why Win CNC costs so damn much. I you don't know what you don't know, and then when I first bought the Cam Master, I knew nothing about, well, not nothing. I knew about CNC. I'd run them, but I never didn't know anything about buying one. I researched and I wanted a turnkey system, and this thing was made out of 1/4 inch. It's a professional machine. It's like Dave's Avid. I paid $10,000, and it was a 2 foot by 3 foot area. So you can imagine, Now included in it was the computer, was everything. Like I said, turnkey. The only thing you had to do was uncrate it and stick it up on a 800 pounds. Stick it up on a table of some sort and connect the computer. It was that simple. Well, then of course you had to learn the programs, but you don't know what you don't know. I learned CNC on Win CNC, and then when I was introduced to the community, to the rest of the CNC community, most of which are on Mach 3, I'm looking at it and I go, it's the same damn thing. I mean, it's there are a lot of aspects of Mach 3 that I like better than Win CNC. I haven't found anything yet that because you could program a macro in Mach 3. I've done that in Win CNC. You could program a macro, you could program a button, you can program different screens. There's I find it hard to justify how much was Win CNC. I forgot. It came with my system, but ultimately I had to pay for the software. So the short answer to your question, Paul, is I like Mach 3 better because there's a lot more support on it, and the price is better. I'm a huge fan of, and you'll hear me say this more than once, I'm a huge fan of getting as much as I can, as many bells and whistles as I possibly can, for the lowest price. I mean, one thing is Best Buy, and I'm not talking the store. One thing is getting the best deal you can. There's 3 levels in my eyes. Cheap crap, and I won't mention Harbor Freight because some of their stuff is good, like that trencher that I bought, I hope. So no, there's cheap crap, and again, I don't want to belittle anybody because I have never run an X-Carve. However, and if you run it really, really slow, I suppose it's a decent machine. But a lot of people have ripped that thing apart, mostly because they run it. There's cheap stuff, and you get what you pay for. There is the best deal, and then there's luxury. Okay, see, When I bought my truck, for instance, I didn't go for best deal. If I went for best deal, I'd buy a used truck. I'd buy something very practical with a lot of. I went all the bells and whistles, and I went pure luxury. I could afford it, and then I switched into luxury mode, and I go, I want that, I want that, I want that, and I want that, and I just throw it all in there. I still, haggle on the price. I'm not, that crazy, but it's a luxury. It's something past the practical. The best deal for me is something that is the most bang for your buck and practical. Like, for instance, the Gatton CNC. It is a solid machine, more than those little toy machines, CNCs. Certainly more than those Chinese ones that all bend and stuff. And I'll plug myself. And with the Javi box, again, if you don't want to go through the hassle, the trouble and stuff, well, bottom line is it's the best deal. Why? Because you're basically spending a couple $100 extra besides the parts on a box. You can't see it off screen here. On a box that has everything tested, wired, and you just plug it in, and then you get to start carving. And when you start carving, hopefully, just put it out there on Facebook Marketplace or whatever, and you'll make some money like everybody else. Not a lot of money. The only way you make a lot of money is by being a cabinet shop. So then again, I could be wrong, but most of us woodworkers, we're in it for the hobby. We're in it for the extra spending money, not to make a living. I certainly don't make a living anywhere at all on the hobby boxes, but best deal. And then you got luxury. You got the Avid falls a little bit under luxury. It's but you get a Cam Master, you get a Tormach, you get an Avid, you get one of these machines that are just built so solidly. But guess what? You've paid. It can do the same faster. It can do the same as a Gatton for 5 times the price. My truck can do the same as an old pickup for 10 times the price. How much can you get an old pickup for these days? Russ?
I have no idea.
Yeah, neither do I. But anyway,
I buy new now.
Yeah, that's the thing. My wife taught me that with cars. My wife is real big on once it starts breaking down, you buy it new. And I got to tell you, there's some wisdom to it, because when I was younger, then again, I was the guy always tinkering with the car, and every time I tinkered with it, I would take something off that was factory spec, and I would make my own because it was cool looking, and then I'd screw up the car.
Right.
And but anyway, what I'm getting at is factory. Leave it factory, and when it starts going bad, get a new one, and you don't have to worry about those weekly repair bills, those monthly repair bills. There's,
Right
my wife, once something major goes, she's looking for a new car.
Really?
Yeah, and not what she bought. In other words, we bought an Acadia once, GMC Acadia, and the AC. You're gonna love this. The AC started losing Freon. It had a small leak. We found out from research online that it's known with those Acadias. It was they wanted to charge us $5,000 because they have to tear apart the entire firewall to get to it.
Yeah.
To remove the whole dash and the firewall
Right.
to get to the evaporator, which is the part that leaks. Okay. A little $20 shot of gas, and to the dealer, here you go. What can you give me for it? I want a new car. And done. Done. Because that is likely, because we bought it used, and that's what happened to us. It lasts for about a year.
Yeah.
And then so Well, I'm not gonna mess with it. I'm just gonna get a new one. And then now
yeah.
she's super happy with her new car and Toyota Corolla, by the way. We love Toyota Corollas. I've had 3 in my life. It's a great, practical little car. Not great to pull trees with,
No,
but
better than a doggone riding lawnmower, though, right?
well, I don't know. That riding lawnmowers, that's pretty beefy. I'm telling you. When I get riding on it.
Poppy's woodshed popped in.
Yep. Hey, Poppy, how's it going? Poppy. Good old Mervin.
That's what I thought that was.
Yep, that's Mervin.
I saw a post he put on today. I think it was when I saw West Monroe, Louisiana. I said, "Yeah, that's got to be Poppy."
Yeah, yep. Yeah.
Well, Dave, you're not being very talkative.
Leave him alone. Let him watch his YouTube videos.
It's hard to get a word in edgewise.
I know. I do know that. That's why I went to typing in the chat.
I just turned the mic off. I thought, well,
That's true. Well, if you like, I can
really just should get a cardboard cutout and set.
Look, you know what, Dave? I'll tell you what. You want to get a word in edgewise? If you like, I mean, you're complaining about not getting a word in edgewise. If you like, I can invite Mark.
I was just stating a fact.
Wait. I can invite Mark Lindsay in here, and then you can compare.
Lord have mercy.
Then there.
You know, I'm kind of like Dave. I kept sitting here because I wanted to say something to one of the chatters over there. But then I said, eventually, Javi's going to have to take a breath. And I'm going to jump in, you know.
I
know you got. If you miss it, you missed it.
Yeah. I have my moods. When I'm excited.
It's a show, so you know.
Yeah.
You can't complain.
When I'm excited, I talk. When I'm nervous, I talk. When I'm tired, I talk. So I have my moods.
Yeah, but they all come back. All roads lead to Rome. You're still talking, every one of them.
Yeah, that's the way it is.
Dave's watching soap molding videos, huh? That's what Paul Stewart said.
But you remember Builds with Brian?
Yeah.
Remember that guy, Brian Walkenfuss, I think is his last name?
Yeah, I think I remember the last name, yeah.
He hadn't had a video out in a few months. Well, he finally put a video out. And guess what he was making?
So,
his wife, and I did not know this, but he says his wife's a soaper. And he goes, yeah, that's what they call themselves, soapers.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So she makes soap, but he made this. He did a whole video where he's making this, I'm not sure what you call it, but it's a soap cutter where you take a piece of cake of soap.
Right, and slice it.
Like real, I think 030 welding wire.
Wow.
And he had it with guitar, the little things you tighten the guitar tuners.
Yeah.
And it went down and it cut the soap into the bars and stuff. That's what his video was on. I thought, well, that's interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
I was just talking about soap the other day, and then boom, there pops up a video. And like I said, he hadn't done one in a while.
So the Google got you, huh? The Google got you.
Something got him.
Talking about soap, and then that pops up.
And then that pops up.
Well, I've subscribed to him anyway, so that's why it popped up in my feed.
Yep.
As everyone should be. He's got a lot of cool stuff. Cool shop too.
He does.
Not everybody's got a press brake in their shop.
No, that's true. I can run down the street and around the corner and use one, but not mine.
That's very true. Not everybody has a press brake in their shop. Mine is in my attic. It's a small one.
Yeah, I'm talking about a hydraulic
Yeah, I know.
Actually, I think his is pneumatic, but still, it's not the manual.
It's not. Yeah, it's not.
the Harbor Freight one. Yeah,
Yeah, it's not.
that's not hydraulic.
Yeah. I don't remember where I got mine. Ah, good times.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Well, we had a
beautiful.
little dead air there, Dave. You could have spoke right then. You had a pretty good amount of dead air right there.
Yeah.
He wasn't talking and the chat wasn't moving. So
Yeah, and then you had to ruin it, Russ.
I know I did, man. I just couldn't take it anymore. Jim Buckles in the house.
Hey, Jim.
I stream 6 days a week, so when I'm on somebody else's show, I don't feel like I have to say anything.
Yeah.
Oh.
What's shaking, Jim? Yeah, so I'm happy. I bought my. I got my stash of plywood, and from my last stash, I have maybe 8 blanks left, so enough to make these orders, and figure let me go ahead and get ahead because if I can batch out another bunch.
Oh, Jim Dockel says he chopped out a dozen mortises by hand today, but we know an easier way to do that. Got a little 3-letter word that CNC machine would help you.
CNC,
amazing pieces of equipment.
It's funny because I'm really spoiled with the CNC. I mean, I'm sure when I get my shop and I have a precision table saw. I got 3 table saws. One is a precision table saw buried under a bunch of tools, and I don't dare take it out because the only place I have to work on it is out in the yard, and if I forget it, like I tend to, it'll turn into the same condition that I have my portable. I have a portable, I think it's a Porter cable, and it is in. I've replaced the trunnion twice because it's rusted, and or parts of it, and I've broken the cast. Well, long story short, it's a rough one, and so that's not accurate. And then I just bought a brand new one because obviously I was up there, and I figure I owe myself. So I bought a new one for up there, a small little Ryobi one. And it's great, portable and all that. Well, anyway, the nice thing about it is it's new, so it's accurate.
Yeah.
Well, it's not always the case, but
as well as it can be.
Yeah. Well, what I was getting at is the table saw. It would behoove me to cut like these things. I should cut. Let me see. Put it where you guys can see. It's just a rectangle. It's got a lot of holes in it, but the wood backing for this plastic is nothing more than a rectangle. And I could make a jig, and then the CNC could easily cut the holes, and that's it. But no, instead I put a huge blank of 1/4 inch and go through the trouble of cutting 7 or 8 of them at once. But I got 2 choices. I could either do it the way I do it, which is I cut them far enough apart where there's enough of a skeleton so it won't bend, and then they come out nice and square. Or I could put tabs on them and then put them all real close together and have a tight skeleton. The best yield would be if I sliced a bunch of these on a table saw to the correct dimensions and just dropped them in my CNC and cut them.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what it is. I can't bring myself to cut rectangles with anything but a CNC. It's like I've been spoiled, and it's like, it only takes a second to draw a square on Vectric. It's this much by this much. Position it here. Send.
It's more fun with the CNC.
Yeah. Well, it's more accurate. That's
It's more accurate and it's more fun because you could be doing something else while that's cutting.
Yeah,
Not to say that I have been doing something else. I still sit and watch that dang thing go round and round and round. I can't help it. I still like it. Don't shake your head, Dave.
Yeah, I
like it.
I am going to interject a half a shake because
you know what I always say when somebody sees me doing something like cutting a rectangle or something on the CNC and they go, well, you could have done that on the table saw or something. I say, yeah, but I couldn't eat a sandwich at the same time cutting it on the table saw.
Right.
That's exactly right.
Well,
I can do that with the CNC. I can have lunch or
exactly
or whatever I want to do.
What I was going to half shake my head at is when I carve something new, I like to look at it and make sure it's going well, and most of the time it's something real quick. It's not like you're, God knows how many hour jobs of carving, and I've had a couple of those. But when I'm cutting, for instance, hobby boxes, I know exactly what that takes. I know exactly what it sounds. In fact, there's a particular sound. I know it takes 22 minutes per pass, and there's 2 passes. I've got a down cut and an up cut, and I swap bits in between. And of course, the little 45-degree bit to drill all my holes in the right places, so it's easier for me to position everything. Well, there is 22 minutes, and near the end, when it's cutting the exterior, and the hobby box has all those vent holes, it sounds like wah, 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 wah. It kind of sounds like I know that sound right and left. And so I know, start walking back because it's just about done. And so when it comes to cutting repetitive stuff, I'm with Dave on this one. I ain't watching my CNC for nothing. I got confidence in it. I just, let it go. When it's over, it's over. And the beautiful thing about mine, and by the way, this is available on the hobby box. The beautiful thing about mine is shuts off when you're done. So I don't have to, manually shut off a switch or anything like that. It's I mean, the spindle or the router. It's
Mervin's asking you, why don't you laminate the plastic and the plywood together and cut them at the same time?
Aha. Well, because for the simple purpose that the plastic comes in 12 by 24 sheets, okay, and the plywood in 48 by 96. But the plastic takes. I basically have a set of plastic shears, and I do slice the plastic into the squares. The plastic has to go on my engraver, not on my CNC. The CNC can't cut this plastic. I mean, it can cut it, but I would have to sandwich it, like you said, sandwich it between stuff.
Yeah.
And I cut and engrave it at the same time, so the CNC cannot engrave it. It's just too fine of a touch for that. I want to say no CNC can, but technically my engraver is a CNC, so that's a lie. Okay, ran out of 5 pins, so I guess I'm going to continue without the 5-pin plugs until they come in. When are they coming in? Oh, I'm so happy. I wish Harbor Freight had as detailed a tracking system as as Amazon or UPS or something like that. Dave, when you ordered that stuff from Harbor Freight, you said it took a week to get in. Did they give you any type of tracking information whatsoever or no?
Yep.
Oh, they did? Okay. Maybe I should look at my mail.
Well, let me ask a question out of the chat. Has anybody out there ordered something online and is still waiting on it to come in well over the specified time that it should be?
Amazon?
Case in point, I bought a bit. I bought 2 bits. I went to this website and I bought a bit.
Yeah.
And 20 minutes later, I went back and I bought another bit as well.
Mm-hmm.
And they did not put them in the same package. They mailed them separately. I got the first one within 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
The second one is still sitting in North Houston post office. And it's been there since May the 3rd. And it's only a day from there to my house. And I haven't got it yet. It's no fault of the website. They did what they were supposed to do. This is actually coming through the post office, which is starting to really tick me off. Because I retired from there, and I don't even get a cut on anything either. And they're losing my stuff. Dang it. I'm fixing to make a trip up there. It's only about 2 hours away from my house. And go see if I can find the doggone thing. Of course, they'll probably have the cops there to run me off the property. But I'm a little aggravated at the present time with my former employer. Because that's too long to wait. That's been, that's 12 days.
I'm going to alert the authorities. It sounds like a disgruntled ex-postal worker is about to be postal.
I no longer have the authority to go postal.
I like the post office.
I do too. I send everything I can to them.
Office, but the USPS, I like them.
Yeah, I try to send as much as I can to them. I got to kind of take care of my former day job. Keeps my retirement up, But it's been a pain in the butt this time. I ain't never had nothing make me wait that long. The postmaster doesn't remember me. I don't know the postmaster in Houston, but I know a bunch of them down here. I've already made my phone call, and emails have been sent, and it still is not here yet. I don't even know how this is going to work. It's a 1/4-inch shank with a 1/2-inch end mill is what it is. A 1/2-inch end mill on a 1/4-inch shank, but it's got a shear to it. It's not just a straight 1/2 inch like that. And I had never seen one, so I bought one just to try it. Yeah, well, if I ever get it, I'll take it out there and give it the run through and let y'all know what it feels like.
I saw that Jim Dockrell.
I see that now too. You're saying Dave looks good with numbers under his chin?
Somebody, I just got my first request for a return, for a refund, rather, before he even got his piece.
Uh-oh.
Well, it says on the website, no refunds. I sent him an email. I'll be happy to return if I can return all the parts that I've already ordered, and I'm not going to be returning the processing fees. I'm a little upset because, I hate when people do that, but,
Right. What, do you have a case of buyer's remorse?
No, he bought 2 things at once.
Oh.
This guy looked on the website and decided to buy everything on Dave's list rather than reading. and it's I knew he'd be a problem, but well, it happens. It happens. So
Yeah.
In the end, I know what's going to happen. Exactly. He's going to get all the stuff, not know how to do it, or have a problem with it because he seems the type. And in the end, he'll call me back for another order. Well, that's not a problem. But upsetting, but not too upsetting.
Well, that's one problem I don't think Brother Dave has had. He hasn't had anybody ask for a refund on the machine. Have you, Dave? Or a plan, or any of your plans?
Well, yeah, and I give full refunds as long as they
haven't got
if they buy something and their wife finds out and then they go, oh,
yeah.
As long as I haven't sent them anything,
yeah,
I
refund their money. But
yeah,
once,
and I don't have
you send them the plans,
that's it.
You can't do any refunds in because they can't return those.
Right.
Yeah, my issue is once they place an order, I'm not going to show you his name, but here it is right here. I've got his name right here in the name tags of the boxes that are getting done. I'm already working on the box. Once they place the order, I order the parts because I learned from my mistake. If you wait for a couple days and all of a sudden the parts are 5 weeks out, and then people get upset because they don't have their box in a month and a half. I mean, most people are patient, but there's always the one or two, and so I want to try to get it to them as soon as possible, and so I order the parts. This isn't a product. I'm not a Walmart.
Right.
This is a service.
Yeah.
And but anyway, we'll see what happens with the conversation in the future. But yeah, it's I understand things happen. It's just you have to be reasonable and accept that I can do my best to refund as much as I can to you, but you placed an order. I'm not going to lose my credit card. I mean, all the money the money that has been with the processing fees. That's not right that I give that back to you. Well, or if it is, what about the 3 hours I spent on your machine? Am I going to give that back to you? I don't think so. So
kind of sort of like a restocking fee, really.
That's exactly. And I was thinking about that last week, and I'm going to put that in there. Right now, it says no refunds. What I'm going to do is I'm going to place a 20% restocking fee. It's that simple, and then I won't have an issue.
Yeah.
I'll still have to eat the because some of these things, I mean, especially orders from China and stuff. Once you place the order, it'll take a month to get my money back. It's just not happening.
Yeah.
So.
Jim Docko told you to give
Eloy his refund. No, it's not Eloy. Eloy buy a CNC machine? That's funny. That's
not happening.
That's not happening. Well, it might.
Well, he'd take it if you give it to him. He'd love to be able to run one.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah. If Dave and I gave Eloy everything that we sell, he still wouldn't put together a machine.
Wow. Chris Lynn said he always thought no refunds meant no refunds.
Yep.
That's like that emphasis I put on that last part because he capitalized it. So I did my best, Chris.
Yep. But we'll see what happens. I was trying to be reasonable. I even told him, listen, I offered him a deal because of his situation. He bought some of the parts already, like the motors and stuff. So, I'll give him a break, send me the motors and for a fee, I'll wire them for you and that kind of stuff. Or, long story short is.
I think I remember the guy you're talking about.
I don't see how. Yeah.
Well, I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There was a guy you were talking about the other night that We're saying something like that. I'm not going to call it any names because I can't quite remember what it was anyway.
No.
But I kind of remember a conversation like that.
There's always something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But oh man, when are these others gonna come in? The 5 pins. Oh, so I got so many 4 pins. They're coming up my ears. I didn't say the other word, but they're coming out of there too. Because I ordered. I mean, some of you guys that were here the other time heard I placed an order for 40 5-pin connectors, and I didn't pay attention to what I was ordering, and I ordered 40 4-pin connectors. Now I have plenty of 4-pin connectors. Now I have 40 more.
Plenty plus 40.
I mean, they'll eventually get used, and it's not worth my time and trouble to attempt a return. But even though it is Amazon and they're very happy to do so, not worth it.
Clyde saying he said something along, give him a 24-hour notice before you start working on it. They can get their money back before you order anything.
Well, no, the problem is this. The problem is once they place the order, my processing company will already take their percentage for the processing of that credit card.
I got you.
So basically, what you give me, let's say I sell something for $500. Okay, I'm not getting $500. You're paying $500. I'm getting $475, $450, whatever it is. Probably $455 at current rates. Whatever it is, I'm getting less. Right? That's all factored in.
Right.
It's factored into the price of the machine and everything. But the bottom line is, let me see. Yeah. Let's make sure I'm putting this in upside up. Not that it matters, it's an aviation connector, but still, I want to be, symmetrical. So I don't even have all the money that you give me. So how am I going to return all the money that you give me? I am not, and I will repeat this, I am not a company. I am a guy doing a favor, a service, and you're pretty much paying my time. If that, because some of these boxes have taken so much time that I would be getting paid $5 an hour if we do the addition. So,
well, William is asking, so paying by PayPal is a better deal for you? They take fees too.
I think they take $375. I'm not sure, and I'm working on getting PayPal on the site. But I gotta see exactly what they. I mean, I will basically refund the guy if he does, want the refund instead of the box. If he finally decides on the refund, even though it's less, I will find out exactly how much less it is, and because I can keep the equipment, the stuff I bought, I can. At this point, I can absorb that. That's not a problem, especially since the next order, now I won't have to buy it,
Yeah.
But it's helping the next person because it'll come in that much quicker. Well, the materials will. The labor, that's another story. And then, but we'll see. I just got to check. I've never done the calculations because I don't. It just comes into my. I mean, I've done the calculations to figure out the price, but.
Yeah, Chris says it's the principle of the thing.
Yeah, it's like. Yeah. But well, it is. Such is life. Let's see here. 4 of those and 1 of these. And that's the last one of these I have. Hmm. I should have brought. I left a bunch of connectors at the up there, figuring I'm only going to need enough for 5 boxes. And then all of a sudden, it's like
The bottom falls out.
bottom falls out.
Yeah.
William, while I can get a word in, William asked me a while back if I've pulled the trigger on Aspire yet. No, I have not. Still
debating.
Still thinking about it, and I downloaded the trial version, but I really haven't had time to play with it. And I'm like, well, there's no sense in spending the money if I haven't even had time to play with the trial version. So.
Well, I've put in all my front panel connectors. That means that it's time to make some more front panels.
Well, the one thing I can say about Aspire is if you have Aspire, you can do everything with that you do with VCarve, and then you have the extra to do the modeling if you choose to.
Yeah,
That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, I just
you really have to want to. Seems to me like you really have to want to learn how to make 3D models to purchase Aspire.
Yeah,
because VCarve will do everything you want, and it'll cut them.
See, it's I've used SolidWorks for years, so when you say 3D model, I know how to model in 3D, but it's different when you're talking about an artistic piece.
Right on.
Model,
yeah.
than a bracket or something. So,
you know how to manufacture in 3D.
Yes.
Yeah.
As opposed to modeling in 3D. Well, artistic modeling, like you said.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if any other messages have come down the pike for me.
I'll probably maybe I'll buy that for myself for Father's Day or something. I usually buy myself something for Father's Day.
I hear you.
Because nobody else does. So.
Oh yeah. Well.
Rocky and Jack don't have any money, so.
They're freeloaders. They're living free.
Yeah, a bunch of freeloaders. I try to get them Social Security number, but.
I've often thought of that. I have two here myself that I'd like to get paid for.
Yeah, Russ has Aspire, so if I need anything done, I could just get Russ to do it.
Well, I'll put you on the list, man.
I'd pay to get moved up to the top of the list, buddy. That's how I roll.
Oh yeah, I like the way you think, man.
Yep.
But yeah, Aspire for me is like I said. The main thing is if you got VCarve Pro and you upgrade to Aspire, you still get to have VCarve Pro. You don't lose it. It doesn't take the place of it, so you have both, and it's cheaper that way anyhow. But then you have to learn how to model.
Let me ask
you.
Russ,
I'm still learning.
Would it be more beneficial, or does it even make a difference if I waited until after their next big release came and then bought it?
Here's what Laney had said at one of his shows. I think it might have been when he came on your show the last time. That when you buy the 10.5 of VCarve Pro, I forget which thing he said because I was really high on it when he said it. That there's going to be some upgrades in that's going to be well worth your time, and I'm expecting along the same lines for Aspire. I just cannot remember. You might have to go back and look and listen to see what he said because he did mention something, and I can't remember what it was now. So that's a little teaser. If somebody wants to go back and look at
Well, I don't know.
Dave show.
I don't know how they do it now. They may have changed because I don't follow Vectric stuff that close.
Mm-hmm.
But it used to be where if you upgraded, and then right after you or within a certain time
Mm-hmm.
after you upgraded, they came out with a new thing. You didn't have to pay that part.
Yeah.
You got that free, but it was, within maybe the last 12 months or something.
Right.
But I don't know if they still do that. That's
Well,
why
when I bought VCarve Pro, I think I was at 8.5 when I bought my version of VCarve Pro. And for the whole year, you got whatever upgrades came down the pike. And so I got to 9 and then 9.5 some odd for free because that was in that year. But if I'd have been on 8 and still on 8 and version 9 came out a year after a year is up, then I would have had to pay to upgrade. It's like 10 now. I don't have version 10 yet. I'm at 9.5 and version 10 has some things in there that I'd like to have. But I haven't spent the $175 to upgrade to that yet. I'm going to wait. And of course, now if I upgrade to 10 now, I would still get the 10.5. Everything in the 10 range, I think, would still come to me. So if they upgraded to 10.5, like Laney was saying, that would still come to me free of charge. I'm pretty sure that's how that works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But what I've seen.
Wasn't there a while back? I can't remember how long ago, maybe a year or two ago. There were some people that got kind of pissed because they had the deal where if you had got that within 12 months, the next thing was free. And it's almost like they purposely waited until after it expired.
Well, they could.
The new thing, and everybody had to pay that.
Right. They could very well do that, but that's the cost of doing business. I feel like they have everything lined out that they want to do, and they just keep increasing, and I've still got 1 or 2 more increases. Bumps up in the 9.5 range, but what they're offering for those slight increases is not enough to worry with. But going to 10 was different. 10 had some stuff in there that I would like to have. I know that they put the version of Photo VCarve in 10, but what I've been hearing, it's not the full blown version like the standalone program is. So that's some things I've heard. It's not quite as good as the standalone version. I haven't tried it, so I can't say for sure. But that's the scuttlebutt that I saw going around, and that was one of the things I was high on. But I like how it treats stacked text now, because the new version in 10 takes a lot of headache and hassle away from when you're doing stacked text and stuff. So that was the main reason for me to go to 10. But I might have to go back and look at your video because I can't remember what Laney said. Give you another view, man.
Sure, it was because I think when he was talking about that was when he was in the after show.
Might have been.
Yeah,
you might be right.
Thank you.
You might be right.
Because it's been a while since I've actually had him on a show.
I know, but he popped in on this show, so you're probably right on the after show.
Yeah,
wouldn't get to see it, but whatever it was, it sounded really good to me.
Well, this is just my prediction. Probably what will happen is when I finally get time to play with that trial version,
mm-hmm.
and I, watch tutorials or whatever, and I'm doing something, and all of a sudden the light bulb comes on, and I'm like, oh man, that's what I've been wanting to. That's what I've been, wanted to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll probably go right then and order it.
Yeah.
But
well, like I
to do a little bit of stuff because I've played with their trial before, way back years ago.
Right.
I got an old. See, here's like an Aspire thing they sent me.
Yeah.
And this one doesn't even have a version. It's like version 1. It was like
It's been a while.
1.029, Windows 2000 XP and Vista.
Wow, it goes way back.
But see, it's like they were sending people when they came out with this. They were sending people that already had VCarve,
right,
trying to get them to do it, and I was like, nah.
Yeah. Well, the only reason, well, I say the only reason, it's one reason that I found for Aspire above VCarve Pro is you can combine the models that are outside that you don't get from Design and Make or the 3D clip art and those kinds of things. I can put more than like those ports that I've been doing. I put in the frames around them. Those frames are models as well. And with VCarve Pro, you can't do that. You can carve one model outside of Vectrix software and Design and Make. Now, Design and Make. No, yeah, you can do all those that you want, but one outside. And I have seen there's a lot of them on Design and Make I'd like to have, but there's a lot on the outside that I like to have, and the ways to combine them with everything that I got access to. I've got frames out the wazoo that are gorgeous frames, and to be able to put them together, you got to have Aspire.
Yeah. And
You bake it.
that I always hate, because with VCarve you can only just do the one and others.
Well,
you can't do
with Aspire, you can max a bunch of them together and bake them into one STL, save it as an STL, and then VCarve Pro can handle it and put whatever you want with it with that. But you have to be able to bake them into one solid STL first to be able to use it like that. I could take 3 or 4 models in Aspire and put them all together, bake them into one STL, and there you are. Then I could take any amount of with VCarve Pro, any amount of Vectrix models and put with it, because it's only one STL outside after that.
Yeah.
But I'm having a good time with it. I really enjoy it. I'm just aggravated that it rained so dadgum hard today, and I couldn't get out in the shop and do anything. It was lightning was really close. I sat on my porch this morning just watching it rain, and boy, that lightning was coming close. I said, it's time to go in. No shop time today.
Yeah. Clyde says,
don't you belong to a
360? My light bulb is burned out. I got a free yeah. Well, they say it's free. It's probably figured in the price. But when I bought that Avid, I got a year subscription to the commercial version of 360.
Yeah.
And I have
is that stronger? Is it stronger than the hobby one that's free?
Oh yeah.
It's stronger. Okay.
Yeah. But it's really too big a hammer for what I want to do.
Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah.
For woodworking stuff, it's great if you're doing this. And when I keep getting these emails saying, oh, they just upload, Fusion 360 just uploaded a video, and it's how to do PCB boards and all this kind of stuff that I don't have no interest in at all. I'm like, just show me some simple things, but it's always doing something complicated on there. And I'm like, yeah, I'll probably, once my free thing's up, I'll probably just let it go.
Yeah. Clive was asking that don't I belong to a group in Europe? And I said, yeah, I'm subscribing, and the cat is over there in close to the Ukraine area. Moldova is where he's from. And we talked about it on the show that I did with you on the 3D stuff. Yep, I do. And I get a lot of models from there, a bunch of them.
And I'm not in that fancy group that Russ is in, but that website, 3dwave.org, is awesome, I think.
All you have to do is give me the word, man, and I'll put in a good word for you and put you right on in there for a small fee.
A small fee?
Well, not for me, for him. I have to recommend.
Be a finder's fee or something.
No, I'm not going to do that to you. I have to recommend people to
Well,
join.
again, I don't know. My biggest problem is time.
You got the same 24 hours a day that I got, man.
Like it don't do me any good to buy a Spire if I don't have time to use it. It don't do me any good to pay money to join that exclusive group if we don't have time to do the stuff. And I'm not complaining. It's a good thing, especially with this stupid stuff we got going on, that I've been busy. But I've been busier since the last couple of months when all this stuff really started kicking in high gear. The more people got out of work, the more orders I got.
Yeah. Mervin's asking me if I got the poison ivy in the back of my shop killed you. I said, no, I'm letting it grow till it gets to be more than I can handle. I haven't tackled it yet. I keep looking at it every day. I look at it.
Hey, get some Roundup. Get some.
Well, I tell my wife I'm gonna go full Rambo on it once I get me a pair of rubber boots and a slicker suit I got my mask in the shop. I'm gonna tape everything down, some rubber gloves, and I'm going in, baby.
Why don't you just go to Harbor Freight, buy that $20 or $30 flamethrower, and just have at it. That'd be fun.
I'm afraid that the wooden fence that's right next to it and my wooden shops will go up in smoke.
Look.
Up in smoke, man. It sounds like Cheech and Chong,
All that stuff just happens to have a lot of poison ivy oil on it. So
it does, believe me.
With it all burned away.
Believe me, it does. My wife has been asking me, what size shop do you need? And I said I would need to take down both shops that are there now, covered in the poison ivy, and put up a meta building on that 20 by 20 pad.
Yep.
And that'd be something that I wouldn't mind doing, but that's going to take some doing. But
shops are great.
Jim Darkle is leaving us.
Well, have a wonderful evening, Jim. Let's see what time.
Sorry to see you go, man.
Well, it's about that time. So in about 5 or 10, I'll be shutting it down to the outside. So
I'm sorry, we kind of took your thunder, man. You stopped working when we got to talking.
No, I finished.
Oh, okay.
I finished all the stuff I had. So up for the day. I've got a schedule, and I've got a very people ask me, how do you get so much done? I've got a list. I've got a schedule. Most of the time, I put 12 things on the schedule, and I can accomplish, on the average, 10. But there are days where I can accomplish 12. Today was raining, so 3 of them just went out the door. So, hey.
I hear the fact that, like I said, we caught it today.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Yesterday, the town that I say I live in is Beaumont.
Yep.
But they got bombed yesterday, and I live on the outskirts. I'm outside the city limits.
Yeah.
And we didn't get a drop yesterday.
Yep.
But today, the whole bottom fell out all day long. It's going to be like that tomorrow. All night tonight, tomorrow.
Yep. Let me see here.
Russ, you should go to Tractor. You got a Tractor Supply near you?
I do. Right around the corner.
Because I've always used Roundup, but I was in there one time and they had this stuff in a big old jug. It's like about a 5-gallon jug. And it was like $40 or $50. It's kind of expensive, but it's concentrate. So you mix it in a sprayer. That stuff works better than Roundup, buddy.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it organic stuff? Because Roundup, that's bad news for.
Yeah. Well, I guess. I mean, it's.
I got a gallon of Roundup. I never used it yet.
I read the labels on all that stuff because me having dogs, I got to make sure that it's not
right.
But yeah, my neighbor over here, there's some kind of, I don't even know what it is, but it's some kind of vine stuff. And if you don't keep after it, it just takes over trees and
right
like that. And it creeps from his yard through the fence and starts coming on mine. And it had gotten bad. So I bought some of that stuff and mixed it up in the sprayer. And I just went wild. And man, it didn't even thinking about coming back.
Yeah.
It comes right up to the fence and then stops.
I hear that. Because when I was back behind the shop cutting those trees down, I got into that poison ivy and I didn't see it. And it found me and it done a number on me. And I told her, I said, I'm going to have to glove up, suit up, and everything else to get back in there. And, but what I did see was I got cut up from a lot of blackberry vines. I got a lot of blackberry vines back there. And I'm going to just take the sprayer and I'm going to spray it all down. I want all that to die off. And then I'll just go after that poison ivy, because it's actually climbing over 2 shops and coming in between the 2 towards the front now. So I'm ready to I'm gonna have to get down in there and get it.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Glystar.
Here's what that stuff is right here.
Dave Krause said it's Glystar.
It's well, here's one brand. It's called FarmWorks Grass and Weed Killer. It's glyphosate concentrate, 2.5 gallons. It's $60, but I guarantee you it lasts a while. Because I asked the guy, I said, hey, is this stuff really any good? I said, I don't mind paying that price since it's concentrated and you mix up what you want. But he goes, oh yeah, that stuff's good.
Yeah.
That's what I bought, and it is.
All right, I might go over there and talk to him. I pass by him every day every other day, and I never even thought about going in there.
Oh, Glystar. Yeah, I see Dave Krause said that. Yeah. Well, I just saw that on another website somewhere. I've clicked off of it now. But yeah.
But it seems like every time I have the inclination to go out there and do it, number one, I don't have the suit yet to get covered up, but the wind is always blowing where it blows it back on me. And every time when I've tried to go out there looking for a still day, I'll get back there and take a peep, and this wind is always blowing in my direction. Son of a gun. It channels it seems like. Between the shop and the fence is about 10 feet. It seems like it channels that wind right on me. Be careful, it kills everything it hits. As long as they don't have to worry about killing me, I'm okay with that, because anything back there, I want it to gone.
Be immune to corona then.
Yeah, I'll find out in about 3 days. I actually took the test today because my neighbor is an elderly lady, and she tested positive for it and has no symptoms whatsoever. But she was scheduled to have surgery for an unrelated condition, and the doctor told her to get tested for it first. So she did, and they said she has it. And before we found out that she had it, she had got some stuff from us, and I went to give it to her, and she gave me the money for it. And I took that money out of her hand. I was about 4 foot away from her, and folded the money up, stuck it in my pocket, went back in the house, and gave it to the wife because it was her stuff. And about 3 days after that, she tells the wife that she tested positive. I said, "Oh, jeez, man." So I said, "That's it."
Money's pretty nasty anyway. It probably has
it stays on it for a good 24 hours. So I've been looking for some symptoms, and I hadn't seen none.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to know. So we went over there and got the test today.
I like Dennis Mills's suggestion, 1-800-RENT-A-GOAT.
Well, I don't want to see the goat that eats that poison ivy, how he likes it.
Yeah, probably.
There's a bunch of it. Oh, there's a bunch of it.
Anything.
I've got one of those. You call it a Chinese tallow. It's a tallow tree to us. China berry tree, China ball tree. But
I know it as a tallow tree. So
yeah, those vines are climbing up the trunk of that rascal. And I want to get that thing chopped down. And I might have to tell somebody, you might have to have some hazardous pay to get up in there with that poison.
Well, if you like, I'll go 50-50 on the goat with you. I got some bamboo he can eat. Well, folks, I'm gonna shut down the stream here for now. It's the bewitching hour. So everyone have a wonderful evening out there, and I will we'll wave our goodbyes. So have a nice evening, all. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again. What day is today? Friday. On Monday. I'll see you at Dave's show tomorrow, and then Monday with Soldering and Chatting with Javi, and and letting Javi chat a hell of a long time for the first half, while everybody else chats for the second. Ciao.
See y'all.